Hello guys, welcome to another Angular tutorial, and in this tutorial we are going to learn about component, means how we can create a component, how we can create our own component. So we have created an app called hello-world. This is the folder, app folder. Go inside this folder and go inside src folder and go inside app folder. So by default, 4 files comes under one component development. 4 files comes under one component development. Here we have totally 5 files available, that is app.component.css, app.component.html, app.component.spec.ts file, and app.component.ts file, app.module.ts file. Totally 5 files are available. Among these 5 files, we are not bothering about this app.component.spec.ts file. Why? Because that is for testing purpose, and um, we are not performing any testing here as of now, and we are mainly focusing on the development. So except this, we know very well about all the 4 files and the contents, what is available inside those files. So by default, these 4 files comes under one component development, and this is the module file, app.module.ts. This is the module file, okay, that does not comes under component development. Now what are all the contents are available inside these files? um, let us look. Open in any of the editor. So here, as we can see, there is no content is available inside this app.component.css file. And here, open this app.component.html file. So we have some content, one paragraph tag we have, that is Angular is powerful framework. Angular is a powerful framework, that we have enclosed it in a paragraph tag. All right, that is the HTML file. That is what we are calling it as a template, and this CSS file, that we are calling it as a style, right? Style file, style URLs, that we will see in the app.component file. And here, app.component.spec.ts file, we have a lot of content here as well, and we are not focusing on this file, as we know that it is for testing purpose. Next, what do we have here? That is app.component.ts file. Open it with the edit plus or any of the editor that you have. Here we have some content available. We have this export class app component. So this class, this app.component.ts file, generated by default while we are creating app. And what are this what are the contents that are available inside this component file, that is app.component.ts file? So here, on top of this class app component, there is a @component decorator, @component decorator, and this @component decorator accepting one argument. Whatever I have selected, this is the argument, and this is what we are considering it as an object, okay? And this object is encapsulated. This object is encapsulated with the three properties, that is selector and template URL and style URLs. The first one, selector, that is app dash root within a single quote, and in the end we are giving a semicolon so that we can define other properties too. This whole file, this app.component.ts file, can be selected by this selector. This whole file, that is app.component.ts file, can be selected by this name app dash root. Okay, that I think we have seen in the previous tutorial as well, how we can use that in the form of tag. Okay, in the form of tag inside the template file, inside the HTML file, right? So then what do we have here? The next property or parameter, that is template URL. Okay, what is the template URL we are supplying within a single quote? That is, in the current directory we have one file called app.component.html. That is the file we are considering it as the template URL file, and we are giving a comma as a separator so that we can declare our next property or parameter file. So then we have this style URLs property. Inside the array, we are considering it as an array, opening a square bracket and closing square bracket. Inside this array, we are supplying one file within a single quote, that is in the current directory. Dot represents current directory. Here in the current directory or in the current folder, we have this app.component.css file that we need to consider it as the style for this development or for this app. Now, by giving a comma as a separator, we can supply multiple files, multiple style files as well. For now, we are keeping it as we are leaving it for only one file, that is app.component.css file itself. And next thing what we need to observe here, this component that needs to be imported before we are using that's need to be imported from a particular module. So that is @angular /core. This is the module where this component is available. So, and we are considering it as a decorator. @component, we are considering it as a decorator. This class app component is decorated with the @component. In fact, the files, the class files should be decorated with the decorator, one decorator. Okay, so that is what we have done here, @component. And we know that this one is an object. So three properties encapsulated and making it as one object, so that we are supplying it as an argument to the component. And then we have this class called app component, and we have declared it using the export keyword. What is the usage of this export keyword? If we don't use this export keyword, we cannot able to use this app component class inside another TypeScript file. In order to use this class inside another TypeScript file, we need to keep this export keyword so that we can use it in the other TypeScript file. So then we have this title. Okay, so just like a identifier title. uh, we are supplying hello world. In fact, it is created by the Angular itself implicitly automatically while we are creating this app, right? Here in a single quote we are supplying the hello hyphen word, and this not necessarily should be in a single quote. We can be having the double quote as well, right? So save it. In fact, we did not make any changes, we don't need to save it. And the next file what we have here, app.module.ts file, open it in an editor. Here we have so many content here. To keep it simple, here the main thing what is there here, it is one module file. Okay, it is the module file. It does not comes under the component files category. It is the module file. So previously I created this component and I just deleted it, so I need to delete this entry. Okay, that's what I'm doing here. Please don't confuse with that. I'm just deleting that entry. I'm just saving it. After we are creating the new component, it will automatically update this file that we will see further. Now, the main thing here, it is the ng module. It is the built-in. Okay, it is built in Angular ng module. It is the built-in module available in Angular, and on top of this app module class, we have this decorator called @ng module, and we have some sections here: declarations section, imports section, providers section, bootstrap section, and all of that sections are having this array, right? Inside this array we can the supply the names of files that we wish to declare, or we wish to use in these sections. And as of now we have only one component, that is app component, right? As of now we have only one component, that is app component. So that has been declared here in the declarations section. And this ng module and browser module, that needs to be imported from the particular module, and that has been done as well here. This is the particular module that has been these two has been imported. That is first one is browser module has been imported, that is browser module from @angular/platform/browser. That is the location, that is the module where this browser module is available. The next thing is ng module, that is as well imported from the particular module called @angular/core, right? And the same we have used in the file in the coding part. So it is similar to the Java, right? We in case if you have worked in Java, we have a similar statement. We have to import some classes before we are using it in our coding, right? So that is similar to Java import statement. And already we know that this export usage, that is if we want to use this class in another TypeScript file, we should be having this export, right? Otherwise we cannot use this class inside another TypeScript file. Now, the main purpose of this video tutorial, that is to how we can create the component, how we can create our own component, that we will see now. So from where we need to trigger the command to create our own component. So that is apps root folder. So this is the name of the app that we have created initially, that is hello-world. That is the root of this project. From this directory, we need to trigger the command to create our own component. Open command prompt. Before that, you need to copy this path. Copy the path and open the command prompt. Type cd cd. Cd stands for change directory, and we are changing the path to the apps root folder. Just press Ctrl V. If you are using Windows 7, you need to right click and choose the paste option. Okay, by default Ctrl V won't be working in command prompt. Then just press enter. We are still not in the folder that we are intended to be. Now press the name of the drive. Press the name of the drive in which you have created your app. In my case, that is F drive. F colon, press enter. Now we are in the projects root folder. From this very location, you need to trigger the command to create component. What is the command to create component? That is ng space g space c space the name of the component. I'll just say hello. Okay, this is the name of the component. Or let me change it to something else, like hello 123, or hello 1, or let us just create with any name, it doesn't matter. Okay, let me just give it the name as first the component name. Okay, this is the actual component name. And another thing we need to observe here, instead of G and C, instead of just G and C, we can give the full name. G stands for generate, C stands for component. G stands for generate, C stands for component. And instead of just a single letter, we can actually give the full word, generate component. Okay, this is the syntax to create the component. Press enter. It will take few seconds to create some files. Totally 4 files will be created, and one updation one updation process will happening. 4 files, totally 4 files has been created, right? Where this 4 files has been created, that is inside the app folder. Inside the app folder, inside the first folder, a new folder has been created called first. In that folder, these 4 files has been created: first.component.html, first.component.spec.ts file, first.component.ts file, first.component.css file. And finally, one file got updated. The main module file got updated, that is app.module.ts. So now we will see those files one by one. Go to the src folder, go to the app folder. Here, as you can see, first folder has been created. This is the name we have specified it to create our new component. With that name, a new folder has been created. In this folder, we have totally 4 files available. So these 4 files comes under one component development. In this case, first is the name of the component. First is the component. As we can just open the files and we can see the content inside. Right click and open it with any of the text editor that you have. As we can see, we don't have any content here in the css file, first.component.css. Right, this is the file we have just opened. We don't have any content. If you see this first.component.html, there will be a tag. Okay, there will be a tag, and with the text, that is first works, right? That is p tag, paragraph tag with the first works, something like that, a text and closing tag. And we are not worrying about this first.component.spec.ts file because of that is for testing purpose. The next one, it is first.component.ts file. As you can see here, it is very similar to our previous file what we have analyzed, that is app.component.ts, right? The main changes here, on init, right? On init, that is the new one that has been added. As of now, we don't want to worry about this on init. All right, so that is why I'm removing that. So export class first component implements on init, so we don't need this as of now. We don't want to bother about that. And this one as well, the whole whatever the thing that is created inside this first app component class, whole thing I'm deleting and just saving that. Okay, we don't want to bother about that as of now. And as you can see here, this class is as well decorated with one component that is called @component, and that component has been imported by having this import statement from the particular module. And we have this object that is supplied as an argument to the component, and these 3 properties or parameters are encapsulated and making it as an one object. And the same we are supplying it to the argument of @component. The next thing what we need to observe here, that is export. Here export, we have already seen this, that is if we want to use this TypeScript file in another TypeScript file, we need to keep this export keyword. And as you can see here, we have just given the component name as first, that is all in the lowercase, but while it is creating the class of first component inside the first component.ts file, the first character of this class name, that is converted to the uppercase, that is first. And some additional content has been added as well, that is component, without giving any space, right? That is the observation. And we know that this whole file can be selected by this app dash first. And that way, in fact, that we will see further how we can use that to select this whole file. And here dot represents current directory, and in the current directory, that is first, okay, that is the current directory, current folder. We have this first.component.html file, that is declared as the template URL. And third one, that is style URLs. So in the current directory, we have this first.component.css file, that is we are selecting, that is we are considering it as the style URLs file. And we can supply more than one file by using a comma as a separator. That is why we have declared it in an array by using the square bracket, right? Opening and closing square brackets. Save it. And the next thing what we need to do is, let me just take this selector, that is app first, just copy that selector name, except this quote, single quote, okay, just app dash first, need to copy that. So next, here open this first.component.html. We have some content here, right? What can we do here? Let me remove this, go back to our first.component.ts file. Here what I'll do is, I'll give one identifier called welcome note, right? Welcome note is equal to something like you are getting this welcome you are getting this message from welcome note, or we can just why we should make it complicated, right? So welcome, you are welcome from first component. You are welcome message inside first component, right? So end it with a semicolon, save it. Now what we need to do is go to the first component.html. Here, by using paragraph tag, I'm using one paragraph tag. Okay, here let me close that paragraph tag. Inside this, I'm using a new concept. Okay, inside this, I'm using one concept that is new to us as of now. That is called string interpolation. String interpolation. So what is that? That we will see in further. That we will see in next tutorial. But as of now, we are just concentrating on how we can create a component, right? So how we can use the string interpolation and what is the syntax. This is the syntax for interpolation, and whatever the identifier we have used here, this is the identifier, right? So the same we need to have here. Welcome note, save it, and all right, here why don't we open this css file of first.component.css, make some give some style, right? For paragraph, I'll be giving the color as red. Okay, fine. Now go to the main component files. We will work on main component files. Open this app.module.ts file. What is the new thing here? As we can observe here, import statement has been kept. That is our file. First, whatever the component we have created, first.component.ts file, that has been imported right from this file. In the current directory, we have a folder called first. In that folder, you can find out this first.component. That file you need to import, right? So this is the import statement. The same, it has been declared in the declarations section. First component that has been declared in the declarations section. Okay, that's it. And come back to our main app folder. Here we need to make some changes. That is open app.component.html. Angular is a powerful framework, and this message is from the main component, that is main component template. Okay, that's it. And the next thing what we need to do is we need to refer the file, that is app that is first component, right? First component, first dot component dot ts file. Inside we need to refer the template URL here, right? For that, what we need to do is go to the first dot component dot ts, and here, as we have discussed here, this whole file can be referred by using app hyphen first. That is the selector. Copy that and go to the app.component.html file. So here, where you exactly keep that in the form of a tag. This is very important, in the form of a tag, and close that tag and save it. Don't forget to save it. Then open the CSS file. We will give some style here as well for the main component HTML file by using this is the paragraph. For paragraph, we are giving the color it as something like blue, right? Save it. Okay, I'm super excited now. What is the result we will get? And we very well know that how we can run this app, right? So there are many options here. I'll be using some simple command to run this app, that is ng space serve, along with by default I'm using 4200 port only, that is 4200 port only. I don't have any other services running on the same port, so I'm leaving it as default. So the next meta flag that we are using, that is open. What happens, it will be opening our default web browser in a new tab. We can see our app is running. ng space serve space double hyphen open. Okay, we are good to go now, and make sure that you have saved all the files by can right click on any of the file and choose save all. Okay, now we are good to go. Now press enter. It will take a few seconds to build our app and to compile our app and to make it ready, and it will run this app in a new browser tab. All right, guys, our app is successfully compiled, and in a new browser tab, we can able to see our app is running successfully. Here, compilation is successful, right? Without compilation successful, we cannot be able to see the result in a browser. Actually in the browser, we will get some error. All right, and in our case, we don't have any error, and we are getting the result in a browser tab. So as we have you know we have set the color, that is blue for the main component.html and red for the first component.html, right? As you can see here, app.component.css, that is red color. And the very first message what we are getting here, Angular is a powerful framework, and this message, some typo is here, sorry for that. Angular is a powerful framework, and this message is from the main component template. Okay, why don't we just change the, make typo proper, correct? Go to the app.component.ts file. app.component.ts file. So in the HTML file, that is actually app.component.html, Angular is a powerful, here one more typo, powerful. Angular is a powerful framework, and this message is from the main component template. Okay, and this message, we are getting it in a blue color, right? That is what we have declared in the CSS file, app.component.css, app.component.css, blue. Okay, so then we are getting the message, that is you are welcome, message inside first component. And also you can observe here, it is auto reloaded, right? It is automatically compiled, and it is automatically reloaded in our browser. Whatever the changes we have made, that it is reflecting, actually instantly it is reflecting while we save that here. Why? Because here it is actually it is compiling live. Okay, our files are compiling live, and we can able to see the result instantly. So from where exactly we are getting this you are welcome and message inside first component? So that is from our first component dot ts, right? Here, this is the message, right? And we have used this identifier in the app.component first.component.html file with some concept called string interpolation within double opening curly braces, double closing curly braces, that is enclosed within a paragraph tag, right? So then in the CSS file, we have declared the red for that particular text. If I just make some changes here as well, this message is from first component. Save it, and when you open the browser, you can able to see the changes what we have just made. And before that, you need to see the command prompt as well, right? For whether it is successfully compiled it or not. Okay, whatever we have done, that is syntactically correct. If you are making any changes that it is not syntactically correct, here you can able to see that error, what is that exactly. So go to the browser here, and we can able to see the changes that we have made, right? That it is reflecting here. And now why don't we just change the file here. Why don't we make some syntax error intentionally, and what happens, that we will see here. I'm removing this colon, right? Single quote, that is from the file app dot first dot component dot ts. Intentionally making this changes, that is making some syntax error. While you save this, go to the command prompt. As you can see here, why we are not getting the compilation error here. Go to the okay, let me just whether we are giving it is in a single quote or double quote, it doesn't matter. Okay, that is fine with the syntax. It doesn't matter. As you can see here, compilation is successful. And here I'm removing this end curly brace for this class first component. Save this, and you can able to see the result, right? Instantly you are getting the error in the command prompt, that error in src slash app slash first component dot ts error expected, this one, right? So let me fix that and come back to our command prompt, save it, and come back to our command prompt. As you can see here, it will now once again compiles. It will once again compiles, and we can able to see the result. Yes, compiled successfully, and now we can able to see the result here. And once again, I'm making the changes to see the result in the browser. I'm just intentionally making this syntax error, that I'm just missing this closing curly brace of class first component, and go to the command prompt. As you can see, it is showing us error, and as you can see in the browser, it is showing us the message that failure to compile error in this particular location, right? This is the message that we are getting. So just keep the closing bracket, and instantly it will compiles, and it is giving the message that compiled successfully. And if you go to this browser, it is showing us the message that whatever we have made the changes recently, and we don't have any errors, and we can able to see the output as we are expected. And in some cases, uh, you know um, um, it won't be reloading automatically. This browser tab won't be reloading automatically. So try to reload that if you're not expecting what you are expected to see the result. In that case, just reload the page. Okay, reload the browser page, because in some cases it won't be happening automatically. That's because of some internal issues. uh, you just need to just refresh it manually. Okay, so that you can see the result. All right, guys, this is it for this tutorial, that how we can create our own component. See you in the next tutorial. Thank you.